Greetings and merry meet, folks. Symbian here. This video is going to be about manipulating energies, gathering energies, drawing in energies, how to process energies, how to use the energies with a combination of hand gestures. Now, I have gleaned as much as I can from my own personal records and books of shadows in the past. I've also gleaned as much as I can from the internet. And God's honest truth, there is very little on hand gestures. What I have found is so directly linked to Christianity that I'd rather leave those alone. There are not very many of them anyway. It's just the signs that the Pope uses to bless, or how the I think it's Mexican Catholic Church uses to bless themselves, and they do the cruciform and they kiss their thumb and put it on their forehead or something like that. But there are a few hand gestures that I have discovered in East India, their energy workings, their Vedic work, as well as some, strangely enough, excuse me, some martial arts, chi developing and channeling exercises. Now, we all know about chakras, but what we might not know is that there are two levels of chakras above our crown chakra. We have chakras in our hands, in the palms of our hands. We also have chakras in the soles of our feet. And we also have chakras behind us that correspond with the chakras in front, the 7 chakras in front. The crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart chakra, the solar plexus chakra, the sacral chakra, and the grounding chakra, the root chakra. We have correspondence for most of those in the back. Now, the chakras that are in your back projecting out, they are what drives you to do things. Those chakras, in whatever particular function they fall under, drive you to do things, motivate you to do things, empower you to do things, keep you going. It's like, think of it as all 7 chakras gently nudging you forward, if you're indeed meant to go forward, or holding you by the shoulders to prevent you from going forward, because it might not be either an appropriate time to head down that path, or it is the wrong type of learning experience for you. Anyway, the chakras I'm going to be focused on primarily are the hand chakras. Now, I couldn't find a real good name in the books or in history for the hand chakras. I know East Indians has a specific name for them, but they're a little too complicated for me. But I am a science fiction movie watcher and TV series watcher. Now, I have come up with a name for the hand chakras, and I call them Shakarava. 10 points if you know where that came from. For me, the word Shakarava has the word chakra in it, and Va as in drawing in or projecting out. So Shakarava. Anyway, you get 10 points if you figured out that the name Shakarava comes from an alien science fiction TV series called Earth: The Final Conflict. It is what the Talons refer to their hand chakras as. Anyway, there's a whole language built around the Talons. Just as a side note, a little distraction. And I'll say something for you in Talon, just for amusement. Shakarava, Shall we? Umra, shall we? Basically, if the authors of the describers of the language are saying it right, what I just said was the energy of the hand chakras can be used to project or draw in. Anyway, distraction over. Excuse me, sorry. Let's get back into the chakra work, Chakrava work. Now, as I said, I haven't been able to find a whole lot of magical hand gestures that I'm comfortable with. A lot of them are too stoic, too unnegotiable, and definitely they feel foreign to me. So I've come up with about 14 of my own, and some you'll recognize, others you will not. But here's the first one. It's for gathering. You gather from the outside and draw in, and stop maybe about a foot apart. Gather from the outside and draw in. From the outside and draw in. That is a gathering hand gesture for gathering the external energies from the outside and drawing them in towards this ball that you're going to try and create. Now, in your mind's eye, when we work with our own chakra energies, when we work with our own chi or spiritual energies, we can direct them through our hands, through the wands, and out to their target. Or using, let's say, herbs in a mortar and pestle. You want to enchant and empower the herbs. You put your hands over the bowl, and then you make the sign of the pentagram to seal in the purpose of the energy that you're putting into the herbs and that. And you channel from outside, from your own personal copper top, from outside sources, from everywhere you can think of, into you first, processed by your energy centers, which the Asians believe are called Dan Tien. We have 3 of them, 3 for different purposes, but they all collect in a commonality sort of way. Now, once that the Dan Tiens have processed those energies, they are ready to be channeled out the arms and out through the Chakrava to make our energy forms. And for my purposes, I'm going to be choosing energy balls, waves, particles, sprinkles, basically any imaginable way that you can process energy is what I'm going to be dealing with. Now, the second one is compress. Excuse me. My throat is way too dry here. Black tea with a little bit of sugar. Wish it was honey. Okay. The next one is compress. So imagine this energy ball you've got already now. Now, you want to concentrate and solidify it a little bit more. So you're bouncing in a little bit. You're compressing it in. Almost like how you would pack a snowball. Okay? When you put your hands slowly around the energy, you will feel a cushioning effect. Now, to actually compress the energy a little bit further, you press a little harder. Okay? Not brutally, but let it give in a little bit more than just testing for sponginess. Okay? You're actually wanting to compress the energy into something brighter, something more intense and light. You're still adding energy to this. Okay. Third one is throw. Okay? You've compressed your energy down to the size of roughly about a softball or a hardball in baseball. Now, throwing this is pushing it out. Okay? After you formed it, you push it out. You don't throw it like you would a baseball. You push it out. Okay. The next thing is energy forms that you hold in your hand. Okay, that ball, hold it in one hand. Now you are going to be casting that out with your finger, with a point. You're not throwing it out really. You're pointing and absorbing the energy back through your hand and projecting it out your finger. Your finger is literally the loaded gun. And you're not throwing your finger out. That'll come later. But you're pointing. Now, in witchcraft taboo, you should never point at a person, because they would interpret that as you casting on them, casting a spell on them, or casting your energy on them. So it's not just unpolite to point. It's extremely threatening for one witch to point at another. It's a challenge. And it's also an insult. Okay. Laser cannon shot. Now, you know how we pushed the energy off our hands. Okay? We pushed the ball off our hands. A laser cannon shot is a lot more forceful. Now, in martial arts, when you've got a ball of chi energy, you can actually shoot it out. The energy is slightly away from your hand. Okay? Think of it that way. Now, when the energy is resting on your hand and you shoot it out, it's violent. And you are figuring on a target in your mind, and you forcibly bump it into the universe to go to its target. You are giving it a physical ballistic force to send it out there. And depending on how quick your speed is and how intense your thought form is to push it out there, it will literally go out there like a laser cannon shot. And it'll reach its target, believe me. Okay, generate, oscillate, or resonate energy. Okay, you're starting with your hands roughly about, a foot apart. Now, right now, there's no ball there, okay? You use your senses in that to draw energy in from the top of your head, from the bottom of your feet, from every element around you, every being around you, every plant, every insect, the atoms in the air. You're drawing that slowly into you, having it channel down through your arms and start to coalesce and form a ball of energy in between your hands. Now, I always test. I use the sponge test occasionally to test to see how big the energy ball is getting. If it feels big, but it's not too solid, I compress it a little bit. I push it a little beyond the sponge technique to get the energy a lot more solid, and detectable by my hands. Alright. Grow. Okay. You've got this compact energy. Now, you want a bigger ball. So, with your hands, as relaxed as you can, shaping the ball, think of your fingers and the palms of your hands suctioned to the energy surface ball, and you pull it apart slightly, and you widen your fingers. And that makes it a bit bigger a ball. Alright? Now, the other one is glow, where you've got this nice concentrated ball, about the size of a softball or hard ball, in between your hands. And what I normally do to make it glow, to give off some of its, how should I put it, spiritual luminescence, I tremble my hands a little bit. Can you see that? Not violently, as naturally as I can without really coercing the energy, but I let my hands shake a little bit, and it forces the ball in between the two shikaravas to glow and give off a little bit of luminescence. Okay? That's if you can see colors, see aura colors. You'll see that luminescence. Alright. Beam, cut a path. Now, this is where you use a single or two fingers and you cast. Now, when you're casting a circle, if you don't use a wand or an athame, you can use your finger to draw a circle. And that's what I mean by casting energy. You take two fingers and sweep all the way around the circle, pointing at the circumference of the circle, going all the way around. Okay? Imagine the energy coming through your dantians, then through your arms in a concentrated, coalescing form that comes out of your fingertips like almost a visualized electric blue laser cloud, a thin line, laser line, and that lays the perimeter and the circumference of your circle. Or if you want to project that energy to someone's broken leg, or a cut on their arm, or a slight infection, to maybe clean that and cauterize it and seal it, you can do that as well. I'm closing my eyes because I'm trying to think ahead of the words that I'm trying to select for you guys. No, I'm not channeling. All right. The one that's next is holding. Now, those are with your hand chakra. You simply hold it. You hold the energy ball between your hands in a loose or in a concentrated hardball, softball form. And you just let it exist. You feed it occasionally so it doesn't diminish, because when it glows and sparkles and does things like that, little bits of energy escape and go elsewhere. So you pretty much have to constantly feed this ball to keep it at the right size, the right intensity, that type of thing. But just holding it, enjoy the sense of the energy between your hands. Feel it oscillate, feel it resonate, feel it pulse. All right. The next one is spin or rotate. Now, for spinning, I use that type of emotion for spinning, or that type of emotion for spinning. Now, for lighter based magic, I spin clockwise, which the word I believe is diosil for clockwise. Now, for darker magics, I spin widdershins counterclockwise, and that's going around the opposite way. Think of a clock face. If you're proceeding along the regular time of day and it gets later throughout the day, that's diosil. That's the direction you're going for clockwise. If you're thinking reversing time, going backwards from 12 back to 1, that's widdershins. All right. The next one is pulse. Now, pulsing energy is interesting. You can do the bouncy cloud thing and with your hands, and you can pulse it with this hand and then feel it with that hand, or pulse it with this hand and feel it with that hand, or you can go back and forth. Okay? This is playing with your energy. It doesn't really serve that much more of a purpose other than you exercising your shikaravas and your ability to visualize the ball of energy changing and reacting between both hands. Okay. That's pulsing. Wave is where you spike the energy of the ball, and then a second later you feel it on your receiving hand. Or you spike the energy with your ball, and you feel it on the opposite hand. It's like back and forth. I think of either a swing or a teeter-totter when I'm doing that with this ball of energy. Okay, the last one is particle energy. Now, you can do particle energy with just one hand or with the energy ball. Let's do it with one hand. Now you hold your hand up and imagine the energy ball here. Now, to show off or have it give off particles, you just move your fingers around. You tickle the ball of energy, and it will let little sparks and streams and that type of thing leak off of it when you're working the energy in your hand. Alright. Now, with these forms of visualizations, you have to practice them to the point where they feel real, that you connect with them vividly, lucidly. Excuse me, sorry. Where you connect with them lucidly. If you can't establish a connection that feels real for you, none of this is going to work. That's my cat. She does that every time she has to scratch an ear or she has a buggy. Anyway. Not right now, Bump. Anyway. Cat has something different in mind. Okay. Anyway. That's the energy work I want to talk to you about. It's working with energies that are for the purpose of casting, for the purpose of empowering something. As I said, for when you're empowering herbs or enchanting herbs, they're in this chalice bowl or they're in this mortar and pestle. You do the sign of the pentagram to establish a connection between the worlds and all the worlds, the energy you're working with, and the target of the herbs that are in the mortar and pestle. You put both hands on either side, and using your Shakarava and the energy that you're channeling through them, you empower the herbs, enchant the herbs with specific intention, with a time limit if you need to place a time limit on it, with the imaginings of the target that you're trying to attach this energy to or trying to have this energy draw towards, that type of thing. Anyway, way too long video, so I'm going to shut this one off for now. The next video I'm going to be posting will probably be on what type of things you can keep in your witchy kitchen for spell work and magical work, both light and dark. So, I'm Simeon. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Blessed be.